Carnelius' grandmother on his dad's side. She was able to confirm and tell me that Carnelius had passed away. And I didn't want to believe her. I was like, that is a lie.
Been through it all, but we up. We done been through it all, but we here, man.
Okay, so we have to kind of like go back because your son has been passed away he transitioned 5 years ago.
No, it'll be 5 years this year, October 23rd.
October the 23rd would make it 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of go back to we can't talk about certain things because certain things are still under investigation, of course.
Right.
But your son played football, right?
Right.
So your son so Cornelius played football.
Mm-hmm.
He was home. Was he home for the summer or home for a break?
Well, yeah, he came home due to an emergency because he was expecting. His girlfriend at the time was expecting my grandbabies, twins, and he had an emergency, so he came home, due to the babies.
Okay, so he came home for a life-changing moment, supposed to be one of the happiest moments in your life.
Right.
His kids being born, and in the event of him actually coming home, he didn't actually make it to see his kids being born.
Mm-mm. Nope.
So, I don't even.
I mean, I'm telling you, it's definitely a lot. So.
Okay, so let's go back to that. When you received that phone call, because that had to be the worst phone call you ever received in your life. Like what was that moment like for you? Did they tell you that he had transitioned?
No.
Or what was the call? Do you remember who called you and what was the call was like?
And so my sister called me,
mm-hmm.
And when she called me, she basically just said that something happened to Carnelius and that I needed to get to the hospital. I'm like, what do you mean something happened to him? Because I had just talked to him maybe around 9, something that night.
Mm-hmm.
So I started receiving a lot more phone calls because I would just immediately get jumped up and start trying to get dressed. I'm getting phone calls, and that alarmed me that something was really
you in panic mode because you just received a phone call that just say, hey, you need to rush to the hospital. Mm-hmm. No explanation, no nothing. You just need to get to the hospital because something serious is going on.
And I didn't know what to think because I would have never just thought Carnelius. I wasn't prepared for, I didn't see nothing like this happening or coming, but immediately I responded. I jumped and started trying to take off so I can. Then as many of the phone calls kept coming in, I knew that it had to be really something bad going on. And at the time I couldn't drive. So I was waiting for, someone to give me a ride and take me. So I was in so much panic mode that I think I took off running down the road myself, and nothing was stopping me because I was trying to get to the hospital because I kept receiving phone calls, and I got a disturbing call with someone screaming and hollering, and I didn't understand what she was saying. That was from my cousin. So I hung up on her, and that's when I took off running. Like, wait, I was just trying to get to the hospital. So,
So when you get to the hospital, were the doctors communicating with you? Did you have other family members that was there? Do you remember?
Yeah, I can still remember just a little bit, but I know it was a whole lot of people there. People was all outside, and I was not told that he had passed away, but people was everywhere, like family and friends just everywhere at the hospital. So I never made it inside because from the driveway, the parking lot at the hospital, and me seeing all these people, it freaked me out, like, really. So
did that give you kind of like an idea that this was
the worst? It was a nightmare, and I didn't know if I was dreaming. I knew something was wrong, but eventually once I made it to the emergency side, Carnelius' grandmother on his dad's side, she was able to confirm and tell me that Carnelius had passed away. And I didn't want to believe her. I was like, that is a lie. But yeah, from there was the worst of it all.
Been through it all, but we up. We done been through it all, but we here, man. Been through it all, but we up. We done been through it all, but we here, man.